There were a lot of weird and surprising things in that direct, and I would say that a Pokemon game where you play as a Ditto masquerading as a freakish little girl with wiggly arms was definitely one of them. And on that note, we might as well start with the beginning of the trailer. Before we get to like the actual game, I like the lore implications here. I don't like this. Like, obviously, this is like some kind of like cute little cozy game, and yet the beginning has this Ditto in this like dilapidated house. Like clearly, no one's been here in years and years. There's like a dirty and busted Pokédex on the ground. The Ditto looks at it, and it's clearly like the Ditto's previous trainer. We see a picture of the Ditto with a trainer with their face obscured. He can't even see the face in the picture, and yet he gets the idea to imitate this woman. What is happening here? Like, what happened to his trainer? Where is everybody? Is this post-apocalypse Pokemon world or something? And like, why did the Ditto warp here? Like, the Pokeball warped here. Did it go through time? Is Ditto sent back to like prevent the apocalypse or something? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on here. But that is interesting. It lends something of an element of mystery. So yeah, this Ditto imitates, presumably its old trainer. Looks like a weird little girl with like floppy wiggle arms. And I mean, I love it. I really love it. Like, who doesn't love Ditto? And now, like, there's a Pokemon game where Ditto is the main character. Ditto, who looks like a weird little kid. I think it's just genius. I think it's great. I think it's a genuinely terrific idea. And, like, the more I've gone back and watched this trailer, I don't know. I think I've just come to love it more and more. I think it's really great. So the idea is that this is... Okay, well, like... You see the blocky terrain and you think Minecraft, and you see like the trees and you think Animal Crossing. Really, if you can pick like one game that this seems to be the most like, it would be Dragon Quest Builders. But of course, that is because Dragon Quest Builders itself drew inspiration from a number of different sources. So whatever, all of these things are true. This is basically Minecraft and Animal Crossing and a farming sim. It's a game where you can shape the terrain and gather resources and use the resources to craft and build stuff to create little things of like furniture and you know, we don't know completely what the overall goal of the game is going to be. At the end of the trailer, it shows they've basically created what looks like a little an area from one of the games, you know, one of the original games. You've made a little path, and there's flowers, and there's like, it looks like the kind of thing that like a route or something that a trainer could run through. And I'm trying not to get my hopes up there. You're not like making a Pokemon game here. It probably is just for looks. But yeah, I do have to wonder what kind of like progression system there is. You know, I don't want it to just be cosmetic. I don't want it to be, because that's the thing about Animal Crossing. It is really cool to create your own space and just to decorate it however you want. And that really works for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. That probably would be enough. Me personally, I need a little bit more than that. You know, I need there to be stuff that I'm working toward. And I don't know if it's like, is this like a Viva Pinata kind of thing where you are creating the conditions for other Pokemon to come in, and you're kind of like collecting the Pokemon themselves, and they are kind of becoming your friends, your little guests, your residents. I'm not really sure. Although we do see at the end of the trailer, there's like one short clip where you can see another different Ditto kid running around, and then even in like the big spread at the end, like I don't know if that's going to be the box art or what, but you can see multiple of these Ditto kids. Lore wise, again, not really sure what's going on there. Like, it's just like in the apocalypse, in the Pokemon apocalypse, the Dittos all get together and they're like, all right, we're the new trainers now. I don't know. But yeah, it does seem to be that there is going to be some sort of a multiplayer element What kind of stuff can you do in multiplayer? Can you craft a little place together? Or is it just like, hey, come visit my Pokopia, like come visit my little town or something? I really don't know, but it's interesting. It's a really interesting idea. Oh, and I will also say the whole, like, the Ditto angle is genius. It is funny. That to me is enough. The fact that it just is a funny idea. But then, of course, it makes perfect sense. Like, you befriend these Pokemon, and, you know, Ditto's getting an idea. And so you get gain the ability to, like, oh, like, Bulbasaur lets you plant new grass. Or, like, you know, you've got Drillbur or whatever lets you dig. And you're using all of these Pokemon abilities to shape the environment. And they could have just had it that the Pokemon themselves did it. Could have been like a Pal World thing, you know, you call them over and they do it for you. But I think it was pretty smart to have the main character be a Ditto, because the Ditto can use their wiggly arms to just kind of do whatever. They can just gain these abilities and use them whatever. Ditto can gain any kind of ability possible. It's genius. Ditto is any Pokemon. Which is a little funny, because then the actual Pokemon themselves just kind of sit there. They're like, oh, I guess I don't have to... Do I not have to do any work? I guess you're just going to do it for me? Okay, that's cool. I'll just chill. Yeah, I do think that's a really interesting idea. So we don't really know enough about the game to say much more. Again, like, we don't know what, like, the actual goal is. We know that you do create a cute little area, but, like, yeah, what do you do with it? Is this kind of a smallish game where you're just decorating, or is this going to be, is this a big thing? You know, is this going to be a really big social kind of game? A big, like, multiplayer thing? I don't know, but I will say the potential is humongous. I think it's easy to look at this trailer and, you know, oh, it's a funny little trailer. It's the one with the little Ditto, and just be like, oh, okay, whatever. It's just another Pokemon spinoff. I don't see this as just another Pokemon spinoff. It might be. It could be. It really depends on how they execute it and what their plans are for it. You know, this is the Pokemon company we're talking about. They do sometimes just whip up any old thing, slap Pokemon on it, and throw it out there. You know, like that is a thing that happens. You know, but then there's a lot of really good quality stuff too. But the thing about Pokemon spinoffs is like, there are a lot of cases where something just being branded Pokemon will make it do pretty well. But, like, for the most part, it's like the card game and the mainline games that do really, really well. And the spin-off content doesn't do as well as you would expect. At least me. I'm often surprised by how little people tend to purchase those Pokemon spin-offs. And I really think it just comes down to the games themselves, the people that play those games and what they like about those games, what their own sensibilities and tastes are. They're not necessarily going to be interested in a game with completely different gameplay just because it's got Pokemon in it, because it's like kind of a different thing. And yet here, what is this? This is a cozy game. This is a cozy game, you know? It's not like a match 3 puzzler or a photography game. It's a cozy game. It's the kind of, like, open, chill, kind of crafty, collecty, decoratey, island kind of thing. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that kind of game is very, very popular. And at least from where I'm sitting, I haven't done any market research or anything, but I feel like the crossover between the Pokemon, like, game playing crowd and people who like you cute little cozy games, I think that is going to be a really, really big overlap. Like, it's kind of surprising that Pokemon didn't try something like this sooner. Because it really is an amazing idea. Because, yeah, like, again, it's Pokemon. You could make basically anything. Like, there's no genre of game, there's no style of gameplay that you could not somehow make Pokemon work with. I mean, they made a, like, detective game. It doesn't matter. Like, you take the game and you put Pokemon in there. All different Pokemon have different kinds of abilities. So you could do any number of things, especially, like, action related. Oh, no, Pokemon, whatever. And you're Pikachu and you run and you hit. Like, there's always, like, action-y stuff to do. Action games, mini game collections, puzzles, whatever. But, like, I don't know, this right here, it feels like it's a it's a long time coming. You're taking that like nice, laid back feel of Pokemon, because that's one nice thing about Pokemon. It's just kind of nice. You know, it's a nice world. It's casual. It's such a, it's very like empowering. It's so like escapist, you know, it's not a big scary world. It's a world where you can feel strong and you got your Pokemon buddies. And so I don't know, it's just this game right here, Pokopia. It's taking a lot of the elements of what I feel makes Pokemon so popular and wrapping it all up into a different kind of experience. I don't know. All that to say, I think it's got huge potential. I really do. I'm curious to see how it looks when they reveal more to us. Right now, it's just got like a really vague 2026 date. Next year for the holiday, we're probably, I mean, I think we were imagining we would probably get Gen 10. If that doesn't happen, then I guess it's technically possible we could get the DLC for Legend ZA. I don't know if that, because we've had like DLC be like the holiday release. I don't know, they said the Mega Dimension DLC, the story content is coming soon. I don't know if they would say coming soon if that was going to be like holiday next year. Point is though, if we are getting Gen 10 or if it's going to be the DLC as the holiday thing, this is probably most likely to come out earlier in the year next year. Maybe somewhere close to Pokemon Day or sometime in the spring or summer. Could it be the holiday game if we're not getting Gen 10 next year? Could, like, if this was a big enough thing and they gave it a big enough push, like, I don't know, that could be the holiday Pokemon game. Maybe. I really don't know. Again, just kind of depends on what kind of game it is. Whatever. Yeah, I guess that's it. I think it's going to be a big thing. And even if it doesn't end up, like, you know, selling mainline game numbers, I think it's going to be a pretty darn good success, especially as far as Pokemon spin-offs go. I could easily see this being its own series. I could absolutely see this doing well enough that, like, oh yeah, absolutely. You know, a few years later, we're going to get another Pokopia. But that is what I think. Please tell me what you think about Pokemon Pokopia down in the comments. If you want. Please have a good day. That is non-negotiable. You have to have a good day, even if you don't want to. Sorry.